Hello Pisces, it's a little bit chilly. Well, it's the middle of winter, isn't it? So it's a little bit chilly. You're entering the end of January and into February. So it's that kind of time of year. So this is from the week of the 22nd to the 29th of January 2018. So let's have a look here. Following from last week's was a little bit exhausting for me, that reading. So let's have a look what's going to be happening this coming time frame. So I've not read these cards yet, so I've just put these cards here. So the first card I've got here is, I do feel you're going to go with your gut instinct here, and I've got the High Priestess. So you are going to go with your gut instinct. Something does not quite sit right with you, with a particular person, and but there's a danger of losing goodwill, because you may actually be working, it may be a work colleague that you're working with, and it's something that you want to prevent, is because you're quite a kind person, and got a shiver there. You're quite a kind person, and this person knows this, so you're trying not to lose bad will. You've got to work with this person every day, so it's that kind of situation. So are they're close within your within your group of friends or something like that, and trying to find the balance without crossing the line. So you're trying to find the balance without crossing the line, because they may still have feelings for you. You may still have feelings for them, although you're kind of going with what your gut feeling is telling you, and you're getting advice from somebody who's quite wise too, saying, I'd be a bit careful there, kind of thing. So this is this card here, which is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So behind the scenes, you are cutting away the dead wood here. You're cutting away the dead wood. So you're slowly trying to cut this person out of your life, Pisces, slowly, without losing goodwill here. That makes sense. Now what's crowning this is this person's, and I know I touch on this quite a bit, but this person's a narcissist, and after a lot of thinking you've kind of decided, actually I do sense that this person is a little bit of a narcissist, and it doesn't seem as if this person, or you've maybe done a bit of research on it and realised, that kind of thing, and realised that this person's never going to change. It's very unlikely that this person will change. So after doing some research on, I don't know, on YouTube or what have you, you're actually thinking, there's certain things there that actually do match up with this behaviour, and I'm going to slowly back away from this person without falling out with them. So I've got the Prince of Pentacles in reverse. The only problem here is it was fake. It is fake. This person you know, this person always wears a mask, or they always wear a different persona from what they are inside, and it's fake. You know, those type of people who are phony kind of thing, that kind of situation. Yeah, I have got this person is plagued with fantasy that's unreal. They live in a fantasy world, and you know, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, isn't it great that we're sneaking around, you know, in the daytime and nobody knows about it, and you know, it's all fueled with kind of fantasy. And you're kind of thinking, well, what's wrong with meeting in the evening, or what's wrong with just doing normal stuff, you know? So there is kind of some kind of, this is quite complicated. There is kind of, this person lives in like a fantasy land, and I've got the moon card. You know, they even may watch lots of, you know, movies on TV that are to do with fantasy and everything that they, you know. And also, I'm not saying that, you know, this is like a narcissist, but I get this person's very kind of obsessed with murder, you know, murder programs, and are they going to get caught, and like profiling their mental status and all of that. They're kind of obsessed with it, and it's yeah, it's like this. There's an alarm bell going off anyway. There's an alarm bell, and yeah, this person is kind of galloping back towards you there. This is the problem, and you're trying to keep it on the low down here. You're kind of backing off. They've noticed that you're backing off slowly. They've noticed that. So yeah, there's a kind of realization that you feel a little bit of a fool. You feel like the fool here, because you realize that this was just all an illusion. It wasn't real, it was fake, you know, in somebody's fantasy world. So this is you looking out to your future, and you know, your path in front of you, being quite confident and bold here, thinking, you know, where do I go from here? You know, because I do feel that although there is this going on here, there is this sense of loss, you still kind of feel this sense of loss, because this person, you know, these type of people will treat you like a queen, you know, to hide who they, you know, this kind of person, this narcissistic kind of person will hide behind a screen and pretend to be this king who's going to treat you like a queen, will, you know, buy the champagne and buy the gifts, buy gifts for your children, and you think to yourself, oh my god, this is like Mr. Wonderful, you know. But there's some oddities around this, you know. There's like you can see like the eyes are darting a bit. Not saying that, but you can see the madness within it all, you know. I'm trying to explain this, but you still can't help yourself, you know. You still can't help yourself, because you do still, you miss that part of it. You miss that part of being treated like an absolute queen, you know. And this is what you miss, you know. There's a sense of loss here, and you're trying to, this, you know, it's difficult to work this out. You are kind of pulling away from this person, but another part of you actually really misses this person and misses that kind of seduction phase, the love bombing phase, the honeymoon phase, and you kind of yearn for that. It's every kind of person's, you know, dream, isn't it, to meet somebody who'll sweep them off their feet like Cinderella. And it's that kind of scenario. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, what are you going to do? Because Pisces, I see you just cutting off the dead wood of this and preparing to move forward, looking at this path here in front of you. So you are being sensible. You know that this is just doesn't feel right, you know. And you may have had kind of wisdom from somebody else. It may have been their ex, you know, who's also become wiser to their behaviour. Or it could be someone around you who said that doesn't sound right, you know. Anything that's too good to be true probably is. That's you know, that's saying. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some love cards on top of this to see where you go next, okay, with this. Okay, so I've put down the love cards here, the love angel cards, okay, Pisces. So let's have a look here. So you had an honeymoon phase with this person. It was very delightful, you know. They really, really showered you with love, affection and passion, yeah. So I've got the honeymoon, and this is the thing that you're torn, that you're kind of hooked on, you know, is this honeymoon phase, and you can't forget it. It's like it's really in your, you know, in your mind, you know. How can I forget that? It was wonderful. So you've got like this honeymoon phase, and this is the thing, you see. You're addicted to the fantasy side of this. And it's like you know, the honeymoon side of it, the beautiful side. That's what you're attracted to anyway. There's an attraction. You're attracted to the way that person swept you off your feet when you were at your lowest ebb. But isn't that always the case with these kind of people? So anyway, you have become a little bit wiser to this, and you have freed yourself from this situation in this time frame, and you're trying to heal yourself. You're trying to heal yourself here, and but you can't stop thinking about this episode, this time frame of where you was going through this love bombing stage. You know, it was just like your soulmate had arrived, you know, and everything just clicked into place. Anyway, you are trying to make it work with another person. This is what you're trying to make it work with another person here. Realizing that this was the wrong person for you. You may have gone back to an ex, you know. So yeah, you're trying to heal this, totally heal this, to heal the whole situation. You know, you've gone back to somebody that this person maybe took you away from, and you try to make it work with them. Okay. And you know, there is finances and career. You're also focusing on your finances and your career, but you're still fantasizing here about this honeymoon phase, and you know, and you're still kind of calling in this soulmate, You know, you're still calling in this soulmate, although you've gone back to or seen somebody else here. It may not be an ex, it may be just somebody else. So you looking at your dominion here, well, looking at your path here, where do I go here? What do I do after all of this drama? There is a realization that you don't love this person that you've gone back to, or you've started a relationship with, or you've, you know, gone back to the person that you was with before. You don't love them. It's unrequited. You don't love them. You're trying to start again with them, but you don't love them. You can't stop thinking about this other person who keeps also returning into your life. Like I said, you may work with this person and trying to do it very, you know, politely, but I think this person knows they've got you hooked. This is what this was about. You know, that they kind of know they've got you hooked because they can see it in your eyes. Okay, they see you every day. They can see it in your eyes that you're yearning for that to come back again. And this is what you, because I can see in front of me like a spider's web. This is why you've got to be careful, Pisces, because, you know, this is making you feel, I really miss that, I really miss it, you know, I really, there's like a deep sense of loss because that's been ripped away from you. It's been ripped away from you. This feeling, this completeness, feeling these pheromones filled up, you know, fueling you, and it becomes an addiction. It's dopamine, it's pheromones, and it's like you've been caught into, it seems like you've been caught into this web now of addiction. And this person knows it. They know it. They know this. This is what they do. This is how they operate. And this is what you've got to be aware of. Is because this is like, pay attention to these red flags here. You know, when you meet them, they bump into you, and it seems like a coincidence. I don't think it is. You know, and they look deep into your eyes, like they're trying to look for some kind of chinks of a reaction. Of, okay, she's actually still in there, you know, she's going to come back, you know, that kind of thing. It's all about power games. That's what this is, and that's what I'm picking up here. So it may not resonate with you, or it may resonate with you. If you'd like your own personal readings and you're actually going through this yourself, and you feel like being pulled back to somebody that you shouldn't be pulled back to, but you can't help yourself, kind of thing. If you'd like your own personal reading, please give me an email. My email address is there at the bottom, and I'll try to get you through this and help you move on, and maybe appreciate this other person here who's just normal, you know, who's just normal. They'll take you to the movies, you know, there's no big grand gestures, but they're normal. This other person, they know what they're doing. Yeah. So I'm sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, and you take care, Pisces, and bye bye.